we're going to do now is we're going to drive this dry riverbed or drainage line. It's quite a popular hangout for leopards. So we're just going to drive up it slowly, see if we can find any. We're going to drive this dry riverbed or drainage line. It's quite a popular hangout for leopards. So we're just going to drive up it slowly, see if we can find any tracks. That would be about it. Oh, she actually opened her eyes. And the hyena might have moved behind us. That would have caused her to lift her head. I can't see, unfortunately, but as you can see, she's not very perturbed.
Yeah, cricket commentator.
The hyena has stood up and is moving. That is why she lifted her head and looked. I can just see the hyena now. It's possible. I can't see it. It's coming this way. It's gone behind. No, not coming this way yet. Remember, guys, if you have any questions for us, send them into questions at wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter.
How's the light on your still camera?
It's good.
A clear shot.
Yep. Just got to play with the settings, but.
What sort of time exposure?
Good morning, Ruthie from Michigan. Welcome on Drive with us this morning. Ruthie would like to know, do we know if Karula is pregnant? Ruthie, at the moment it's a little bit difficult to tell, especially since she's got such a full belly. But it is possible, but I'm not going to stake my reputation on it just yet. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to see if she is pregnant.
Confirm close to Weaver's Nest road. Okay, just give me 3 minutes, I'll be out for you.
Looks like she's chosen a really comfortable tree.
Alright guys,
Go Craig. Obi's busy making his way out of the sighting. And 4. Craig's looking for you. I'm fit. Have fun, man. Enjoy the rest of your drive, guys. It would be. Wasn't me. I wasn't. It was a while ago. Standing by. The sighting's on the road that's between Chelepan Road and Elephant Skull, probably about 150 meters east from Weaver's Nest Elephant Skull Junction, and then probably 150 meters into the block to the almost directly to the east.
Oh,
Morning, morning.
Hello. Now we open the eyes.
Yeah. Now he does.
I'll let you know when I get your audio.
I'm excited that I can play it. For antilopa.
So as you can see, there's a male duiker that she killed, but she looks like she's eaten the vast majority of it.
It looks so comfortable, this tree. I also want to ride it.
Ryan, I think he's just driven past us. Aubrey's coming out of the block right now, so you'll see where he comes out. It's amazing how still these animals can be when they've got a full belly and a comfortable branch to lie on. There's almost zero movement. Standing by, Lex.
Oh, but that antilope, I think it's only the legs left, huh?
Yeah, and the head.
They don't eat it?
They will eat it.
It's about 150 meters east into the block from Weaver's Nest Junction with Elephant Skull.
But even
There's an old 2-track nearby that from a previous leopard kill in the area. Best access is on that, but I will drop a branch when I leave.
Now they pluck off.
the fur.
Not all of it, yeah. Pluck it off.
And the antelope and the food, they have also this.
Copy. Thanks very much, Lex.
They don't eat it.
Yeah, that one, no one.
En nog een van Friesland? Well, I feel like they use.
Yes.
Yeah, look at the
There is nothing just waste.
No, it's not there. Wow, look at his eyes, he's looking at us.
Good morning, Katrina from Washington State. Welcome on Drive with us this morning. Katrina would like to know, when leopards are mating, do they share kills? They can do, Katrina. It isn't that common. Generally when they're mating, they mate. But if they do make a kill, they will sometimes share it. But generally the male will take the lion's share, and the female will eat a lot less. And male leopards will often steal kills from females.
A lot of time, plum trees. You see where she always plumb right up there. You can see the trees. The bark has been off.
Yeah.
That's where she go down and up, down and up.
This is a hard one. How took the antelope up to the tree?
Bite it from the mouth and plumb up.
Changing position.
But how big it would be?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to move slightly so we can have a good look at the kill. I know some people have been asking to get a view of the kill, so I'm just going to move around slightly so we can get a good view of the carcass. Good, thanks. How you on? So there you can see it's a male duiker. You can just see the horns there. There's very little, from what I can see, of the carcass left. And just look at how big her belly is. There might still be a little bit that I can't really see just from where it's lying. But I don't think it's going to be based here for a day or two. I think probably this evening she'll move on again.
So they fed only about the food, not the steak. You want to attack them. Yeah?
Yeah.
The leopard looks much stronger than the elephant.
Jackson coming.
Hyenas was stronger than a lot.
What's your position for? Okay, keep coming. I'll make space for you. I'll come back here later. So guys, there's quite a lot of vehicles who would like to come see Karula this morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to move out, and we will let the other cars come in, and then we'll come back here later in the drive once there's not as many people around. So great start to the morning. That's affirmative. So, goodbye, Madam Karula. We'll see you a little later. That's a nice way to start the morning. I didn't even have to do any tracking. So as I know you hear all of us say how important it is to share the sightings and that, and it is very important. It's also, whoa, there's a big stuff in there that you can see. In terms of finding the animals, if we work together, all of us have a much better chance of finding the animals. So this is a bush signpost, but for those of you who would like to see if you can identify, the hint is you look at the leaves. They're very, very distinct, but the main reason of this is how we sign things in the bush. Vim will show you one now. That's a whole tree, but I'm just going to pop this on the road so everyone knows where to find Karula. For the new viewers, let me just give you a little bit of history about Karula. She is the dominant female leopard that we see the most on Djuma. I know a lot of people out there quite often refer to her as the Queen of Djuma. So she holds territory over the majority of Djuma. So she is the female leopard we see the most often. Looks like Aubrey was ahead of me, dropping a branch. And it was also the same type of branch, so I'm just going to drop on top of Aubrey's. And let's go see what else we can find. They did check the hyena den sites earlier, they weren't active, but we can go have another look now. So for those of you who want to ID that tree, here's a, there's a car coming, let me just get off the road quickly. You see, there's a little stand of them growing there. Send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv or just use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Just down the road, you'll see there's a pterocarpus in the road. She's close as well. Okay guys, let's carry on. Go check the hyena dens, have a look what else we can find, and then once the stations of other vehicles have moved through where Karula is, we can always go back later in the morning and have another squiz. So I also believe we've reached 150 bird species on live drives. So I'm definitely going to try find you some more so we can try push that species list up. It's not really warming up this morning, it's still quite chilly. So Scott was telling me that the last hyenas he saw were at the Philemon's dip den site. not at the other den site we've been going to quite frequently. So we'll check both. Let's have a look at this one first. And then if there's no activity here, we will check the other one. Sometimes you might find that there'll be more than one den site active at the same time, especially when there are multiple litters. Seeing any hyenas, unfortunately. Let's just have a quick look. So, but you can definitely see that this is an active den site at the moment. I don't know if those of you who watched a lot of drives remember the last time I came here, we could see that there was visibly no tracks and stuff. And if you go closer on the mouth of there, you can actually see that the soil's been scuffed. I can even see tracks from here. So this is definitely an active den site. Unfortunately, the youngsters without mom, and it's quite chilly this morning, are probably snuggled together underground. So we'll continue on. We'll still double check the other den sites. You never know, they might both be active. But there's a strong possibility they have moved den sites due to fleas. Is probably one of the biggest reasons for moving a den site. Fleas and predator pressure. And I don't think there's been any lion pressure on the other den site. I think the main reason they've moved probably is because of the fleas. Well done, Sharon from Austria and Georgina in Illinois. Round leaf teak was the name of the tree that we used to mark where Karula was. Well done. And Katrina. Well done, Katrina. Interesting thing about roundleaf teak, where there are a lot of ellies, they never really get very big. They stay in those small bushy is that the elephants sort of maintain them and keep them small and growing because they're very much one of an elephant's favorite foods. Good morning, Donna from Maine. Donna would like to know whether there's protection under our vehicles to help with the branches and sticks. Yes, Donna. Well, most of these 4x4s that you use on safaris have quite a thick plate underneath the vehicle that protects a lot of the working parts from a stick or stump going up into it. Come on, sun, fight your way through. We're getting a tiny bit of blue sky coming through the clouds, but unfortunately this overcast weather does look like it's quite set. As I said, it's good for the cats to move. I know the light's terrible. There we go. Nice film. But a very pretty bird. So no, I know a lot of you guys out there know this bird. Quick. But I'm gonna try something different. So all our expert regulars, I'm gonna ask you to give the new guys a chance to get their answers in first. So give them a sort of a 3-minute window to try to get their answers in first before you guys get in there, because I know this is an easy one for a lot of you out there. So send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. What bird was that? I think we're going to have another view, which might be a little bit of a better view now. The light is quite difficult this morning with the very grey cloud everywhere. But here's another view. It could be a bit of a better view. And you'll be able to see one of the diagnostics of its name. So there we go, guys. What bird is that? Send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Charlie, Robin, Rem, Leonard all got it right. It is a lilac-breasted roller. Well done, guys. And the first person in was Charlie. Well done, Charlie. Other than Karula, a white male Inyala, and a couple of buffalo bulls and a squirrel, it's been quite quiet on the mammalian front this morning. Oh, and the one hyena that was sleeping, waiting for Karula to possibly drop some tidbits from that kill. Just an update from over the radio about the Nkahuma Pride. They were moving south towards our northern boundary earlier this morning. They've now stopped about 1 kilometer from our boundary and are lying up. Hopefully, if this cool weather continues, they'll move a bit later on in the morning, and hopefully they come visit us. We haven't seen them for a while. Hello. That Impala ram. Even he's got a following of flies. Incredibly adaptable animals. That's one of the reasons why they're so successful. They're able to both browse and graze. And so they can eat grass and leaves. So they don't confine themselves to one or the other, which has enabled them to be the most numerous antelope in Africa overall, through all their range. Go back a bit. You can see how he looks a bit darker there. It's basically fluffed up his coat. We're going to be seeing a lot more of that as the dry season and colder months come. So what they do is they extend their hair on their body, and then the air gets trapped between their body and the hair follicles, and it creates somewhat like an insulative blanket around them to keep them warm. You can see the next little guy is very, very fluffy this morning. Oh, there's another one on his way. Not so fluffy, this guy. Not as cold as the other two. We're just going to quickly check the other hyena den site. You never know. So last night's cold, windy weather was quite good for hunting if you're a leopard. That gusty wind makes it more difficult for the prey species to hear the leopard approaching, or even to smell it. And the dark with no moonlight makes it more difficult for them to see as well. Hyenas, interestingly enough, I actually see, what do I see there? Are my eyes playing tricks on me there, Liam? I think they are. It's just a sand clod. So hyenas are unfortunately not active as well, but quite interestingly, hyenas often share their den sites with porcupines, believe it or not. And they'll actually stay in the same den but use different entrances and exits. Although I have seen it once before where they've used the same entrance and exit. No, actually, sorry, not once. I've seen it a couple of times. But normally they'll try use different entrances and exits, or try use it at different times. So when the hyenas are in a different den, the porcupines might make use of this den more often. But it's not uncommon for them to share it at the same time. This is a tree I don't think I've done with you guys before. It's got compound leaves. They're very, very soft if you touch them. I'm going to throw it out there just in case someone might know it. So you can tell me what tree this is. Send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv, or you use the hashtag #SafariLive on Twitter. I'm just going to reverse a little bit so everyone can get a nice wide shot of it. And I'll keep. So there we go, just so you can have a better look at it. So the leaves are very, very soft. The leaf structure looks very similar to an acacia, but it is not an acacia. So it is not a thorn tree. There are no thorn trees, and the leaves are very soft. Last I heard, I think Lex left them lying up at rubbing post down. I don't drive this road very often, but every time I do, I always love the vista you get from it. So you're right on the high ground here, and you've got these two little drainage lines down between you. Miles and miles of Africa. Andrew, go again. Well done, Donna. A weeping wattle. Now it gets its name, a weeping wattle, from a small insect called a spittlebug or a froghopper beetle. And quite often in the dry season, especially towards the end of the dry season, you get large amounts of these insects on an evergreen like a weeping wattle, and it gets the name weeping because they all sit on the branchlets and they basically ingest the sap at such a fast rate that they excrete almost instantaneously, and what they excrete is almost pure water. So you'll see, the first botanists and whatnot discovered it, said it looked like the tree was weeping That is a weeping wattle. Well done, Donna. Cold weather, a lot of your general game species like wildebeest, zebra and whatnot tend to get moving a little later in the mornings. Georgina from Illinois also says she remembers it being called bush toilet paper. That is correct, it is very soft. Toilet paper tree, but that's more of a colloquialism. The proper name is a weeping wattle. When we were kids and my dad was teaching us trees, we did used to remember it as a toilet paper tree. Yes, and the one thing that is quite dangerous about using trees that look like this as toilet paper, unless you know your trees quite well, is there a lot of acacia species that have got little hooked thorns on that look very similar, and you definitely don't want to be using those as toilet paper. It would be a very painful experience. We got a bit of blue sky fighting through. There we go. We saw the male earlier this morning, and here we have a few female Inyala. One of the antelopes in the area that shows a large amount of sexual dimorphism. What that means is the male and female look very, very different. Heading off into the bush. We're not going to go crash around after them. For the birders out there, I'm keeping a close lookout for any nice bird parties. There's some elephant tracks heading to the north. They look like they were either very early this morning or quite late last night. So we'll just cross across the Mawati, have a little meander up towards Buffelshoek, see if we can catch up with this herd at the tracks we can see here on the road. You can hear a squirrel alarming. I'm just going to have a quick look. Could be another leopard, or it could quite easily be a bird of prey, or a slender mongoose, or a snake. But it's always worth checking. Often from the way a squirrel's sitting, immediately I can tell it's not a bird of prey. If you zoom in there quickly, yeah, so he's on the edge of that dead leadwood. So just from the fact that he's sitting out in the open, where do you see him? Okay, see this big middle section of the leadwood, the dead branch, and go up. There. There he is. So he's looking down over our shoulder. He's sitting on the open. If it had been a bird of prey, he would probably be calling from a more protected position. So unlikely to be a snake from where he's sitting. So it could be one of the predatory mongooses, or it could be another leopard. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a quick stroll into the drainage line off to our left here and see if we can find anything. So we're also going to listen for other animals, especially now that I'm on foot. You can hear a lot more when you're on foot. So I'll be listening for birds and all sorts of stuff, but I won't be too long, 5 or 6 minutes at the most. I'm just going to pop down to the drainage line. We have found Kunyuma and quarantine in this drainage line before, but the reason we're not going to go bashing in there with a car, it's quite a difficult drainage line to get into, so we just want to make sure there's something worth going crashing down there for. Well, guys, I don't see any tracks. I can hear a Franklin alarming, but not that high-pitched trill alarm call like for leopards very close to them. It's more sort of a loud, incessant. So we'll check anyway, but I'm going to hesitate to guess that it could be a mongoose that they saw. Has VM been showing you this nice tree? I'm not sure. I can't remember if I said its name or not. Did I?
No.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did actually.
Did I?
Quickly, but not.
Quickly. Well, let's see who's paying attention. And who can tell me what tree that is that VM has been showing you while I was in the drainage line. It happens quite often that there's a dead section of it and a live section. So if we have a quick look at the tree again, you can see some of the trees died, and then the paler leaves at the back actually from the same tree. But it is actually one of my favorite trees in the bush. I'm just going to turn around quickly and check where that Franklin was, and send your answers for the tree to questions at wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. So now the Franklin stopped making noise. It was over in this area over here. Don't see any tracks. So I said it wasn't that very shrill alarm call that we hear from a Franklin when there's a predator very close to it. Thankfully it's starting to warm up a little bit now. The last one was correct. Oh guys, only one person has that nice big tree. Correct, it's Deborah. You said a leadwood. It's a very big leadwood tree. And Sam also said leadwood. Now that wood is so dense, if you take a dry branch of it and you pop it into water, it would actually sink. It wouldn't float like other woods. So, as if on cue, it's a little bit warmer and the flies are out, tickling my nose. Quite a difficult one to grab if you can. It's a very nice little bird. It's not moving. Don't move, don't move. No. Did it stay in the tree or did it fly out?
Fly out.
Oh. Just try to see. There's a little bird. We're actually in a bird party, so I'm just gonna sit for a little bit. There we go, there he is. On that same tree, but just at the back. Very, very pretty bird. Oh, isn't that magnificent? Such a beautiful little bird. So, for you twitchers out there who can tell me what bird that is, you can send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. You can actually hear another one calling. It's got a very distinct call. There we go, it's back. Yeah. Just hopping around there. Very distinct call. That's its call. It's incredibly beautiful, but very, very small. And you see there's that spot under its chin. It's also one of the diagnostics of how to identify. Maybe will be kind of and it's off. And you
see it, it's in the next tree.
You can see it, still see it? Okay, we'll sit. It might pop back there.
Now it's gone.
Now it's gone. Okay, let me just get my book ready. Just listen carefully. There's a few other birds. I'm just going to wait a little bit to see if they pop out around us. Okay, my book is ready in the right page for when you can hear them calling. Very distinct call, and a call you hear often in the African bush. Go ahead. Good morning, Elvis. Karula's on a Muntibamba between Weaver's Nest and Elephant Skull. Other than that, no other updates. Get hold of Tucson. I think is in that position still. Andrew, you breaking up? Go again. I'm reading you 1 out of 5. FM, it's a bit better. Okay, Aaron and Heather have it correct so far. It is a chin spot batis, which is a small flycatcher. The batis family is endemic to Africa, so you only find batises in Africa. It's number 1 on this page here, and that was a female we saw. The female has that very distinct spot, that rufous spot under her chin, and that's what gives the bird its name, a chin spot batis. And their call is very distinct because it sounds like the old nursery rhyme. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. So it's quite a nice, easy bird to recognize from its call. Very distinct call. Little family group of inyalas again. You can only see females. Doesn't mean there isn't a male around. Somewhere in the thickets we can't see. Very delicate, and there's a very behind these two there's a young one as well. You can just see the others are in the way at the moment. Take a chance to get my jacket off quickly. And it's amazing how quickly it can warm up in a matter of minutes. A little bit of sunshine, and it's nice and warm again. Really beautiful bird. I'm just going to hoping he doesn't fly away. Just go forward a little bit. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's so frustrating. It is a bit far now. Can you see it there?
Yeah, but it's very small.
It's very small. There we go. It's just to see if you catch the color as it hops. Just keep watching. It's worthwhile keeping an eye on it. Just see if it turns nicely for us. Oh, she's jumping. You can just see that bright color flashing every now and then. Just hoping it turns for us. There we go. Oh, pop, pop, pop. And hop out into the open and show us your chest. Oh, just a glimpse as it hopped across there. There we go. Come on. Done. Let me show you quickly with the bird book. It is a stunning, stunning bird. Quite a difficult one to get on camera though. They are quite busy. Hop around a lot. Here we go. Here's number 3, an orange-breasted bushshrike. Very vivid yellow and then that distinct orange breast. Very, very pretty bird. Hopefully on one of the drives we'll get one that's not so busy and sits for us for a little bit, but it is a very, very beautiful bird. Been a good morning for birds so far. That now it's warming up. A lot of the birds when it was colder this morning, there was not too much activity. We've seen some good birds like the red helmet shrikes, now the orange-breasted bush shrike, and a really nice view of that female chin spot batter. Unfortunately, I haven't seen those elephant tracks again. It is possible they've been moving through between the roads. They were from, I think, very early this morning or late last night, so it was always going to be a little bit of a gamble. We're about to approach some water now at Buffelshoek Dam. Looks like a single hippo and a heron. Just want to check that little inlet where we found leopard drinking quite a few times. Have a quick look down here. Right, judging from the tracks, it doesn't look like the elephants came this way, so they could have gone another way. There's a crocodile. Don't put your head under before we see you. There's a crocodile in the water. A Nile crocodile. If any of you are Rudyard Kipling fans will know the tale of how an elephant got its trunk on the banks of the great grey, green, greasy Limpopo. One of Africa's apex predators, the Nile crocodile. Nile crocodiles have been unchanged for about between 8 and 10 million years, but there have been crocodilians around for much longer. But if I remember correctly, about 280 million years there have been crocodilians. Oh, they've disappeared, don't worry. You know what, I've actually, I didn't actually see it happen, but I've seen the aftermath of a male lion that was actually taken by a crocodile in the Sabi Sands. Let's just hang a few more minutes, see if that crocodilian pops up. Oh, look at those drongas, if you can, in front of us. Drinking and dipping. Oh, it looks like they're having a ball. Small flock of fork-tailed drongos. Drinking, as well as sort of bathing and dipping. There's a single hippo bull by the looks of things. Probably a bull, young bull that's been pushed out of the water where there's an adult bull, so he's getting old enough that he might possibly one day pose a threat. Well, a crocodile doesn't seem to have come back up, but nice to know there is still a crocodile, even though we did find tracks. Oh wait, that could be quite interesting. Up ahead there, it looks like a squirrel's about to go try a drink. Or he could be sifting through the elephant dung for marula nuts as well. It's quite close to the water. Or maybe sifting through. No FM, I'm just waiting for the vehicles to cycle through there. There's still 3 there. Between Elephant Skull and Treehouse in the block to the east of those junctions. And so, quite interesting, what Viam is now focusing on there is 2 different species of bird nests. The big communal nest, which is basically looks like a big pile of branches, actually quite a lot of thorns in there, is a red-billed buffalo weaver's nest. And then the smaller nests are also weaver's nests. My identifying weaver's nest is a bit rusty, but it's either a masked weaver or a village or villatine weaver nest. Well, the crocodile hasn't resurfaced, so we're just going to turn around. And some of the other Buffelshoek residents, I hear them behind me as they walk in. So there's some buffalo bulls arriving. There we go. Those buffalo bulls arriving to come spend their day of leisure in the mud. Hello, old boys. elephant dung on the road, unfortunately not fresh. It's possible that herds just passed through during the night. Hopefully we find another bird party. No, don't go away, son. It's just warming up. Don't have to put my jacket back on. Another bird party. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Okay. Let's go for that one that flew that's flipping around a little bit to the right. Not the drongo. Where's he gone now? Okay, up to the right slightly there. There. Jump now back to the left. See if we get it. Where's he gone? Let's go forward a tiny bit. He made a sneaky exit out of the bush. Ah, there he is. Oh, he's gone into a thick bush now. There's a black-crowned chagra. And there's quite a few bird species here. I'm just trying to see if we can get a visual. Okay. A chagra might pop out into the open just off to the left of This falling down jackalberry there. No, he's gone behind the other side of the termite mound. Not being a very friendly chagra. Show you what he looks like in the book in a moment. Blind. Can't seem to find them in my book. Let me just stop for a second. Chagras. Very strange. My eyes don't seem to be working. Yeah, number 4 was the bird we were trying to show you, but he was quite quick. The black-crowned chagra. They are related to the bushshrikes. Let's continue on. with the name, Andrew. Good morning, Dance Anyway. Dance Anyway would like to know if I know any other word for, like, don't worry, like that very famous Swahili Hakuna Matata phrase in Shangano Zulu. I'm trying to remember. I can't think of it offhand, but it's not so much of a phrase like that, Hakuna Matata. There's actually, I know another one in Swahili, which is Hamna Shida. There's no problems. It's basically the same as Hakuna Matata, but sort of a different style of Swahili. No, Hakuna Matata is Swahili from East Africa. I think Haikona Nkinga, Zulu and Shangaan, or Zulu. Haikona Nkinga would be the same as no problems, no worries. Haikona Nkinga. Oh dear. Male leopard tracks. Just gonna have a quick look where they go. I had those birds alarming and I thought it must be nothing, but we might go have a look. These tracks look very fresh. Very fresh. These are really nice fresh tracks. We heard all those birds alarming it. The tracks crossed straight across into the block here, and there were no tracks coming out on the other side. So I'm gonna have a quick look where we just came from. Of Madode Ingwe at the junction with Mamba and Shida cut line. Tracks cut north into the block. I'm going to follow up for a short while. So the tracks crossed right here into here, and we heard all those birds, and I had a look, but I've just I want to have another double look where those birds were making a noise now. There were no tracks on that road. Just around here, and the birds were making an incredible racket a bit earlier. Oops, bouncy bounce. Gone quiet now. Let's see if I see a track over here. A little loop around this block. Stopping to listen for a second. This whole area has been very productive for me with leopards. So there's no tracks coming out here. check this road carefully. So we've done a sort of square around the area that the tracks went into. And even if we don't have any luck this morning, we've got a very good idea of where to look this afternoon. Nothing coming out. I'm going to check back towards where we had those last tracks carefully, and if we don't get anything, we'll probably move on and come back to this area this afternoon. Nice road to see tracks on. Nice and sandy. Only tracks I'm seeing around here are Porcupine, Tawny Eagle looks like it's being bombarded by a Vasilier there. Good morning, Tony, from Holland. Tony would like to know why we change the name of the animals when we speak on the radio into Bad Shangan. So this is where we last had those tracks. We've got a good area to start looking in the afternoon. Tony, we do it because some of the game drive vehicles don't have earpieces. Like we do in our ear. So quite often, because of the Travis arrangements, a lot of the vehicles can't go to certain farms and stuff like that. So if, for example, we were looking for lions and across the radio came, we found a pride of lions at Long Pole on Buffalo's Hook, it would put the guide in quite a difficult position because he's not allowed to drive there. So that's why it's for the guide to have open radios that we use Shanghai or Zoo names for the sightings. Station controlling the sighting of Karula coming. copy, thanks. So for now, we're gonna leave this area around where we had those leopard tracks. Definitely come follow up in the afternoon. We're just gonna go back to where Karula was with that Dyker kill for the last 10 or so minutes of drive. So bear with me if I'm driving a little bit fast. I just want to get there as quickly as possible now that there's a bit of light. Apparently she's still up in the tree, hasn't moved very much since we were last there. So the reason we've been just waiting, giving all the other cars a chance, all the other game drives who wanted to see her, and now the majority of them have finished. There's only one vehicle there now. Oh, I swallowed a fly. Sorry, excuse me. That was rather uncomfortable. So as I was saying, there's only one vehicle left there now, so we're going to go enjoy our last few minutes of drive with Karula. So I'm going to drive a little bit faster just to get there. We're not far now, but rather give you more time with the leopard than looking at the road. The sun's coming out, but it's still quite cool. I want everyone to keep their fingers crossed that Nkuhuma Pride decide to walk that kilometer to our boundary during the day. Morning, morning, morning. Are you gonna just... minute or two away from where Karula is now. Sorry I had to speed for that little bit there. Copy, thanks. I'll be making my way into that position. Bounce. There you go, she started feeding again. Isn't that perfect timing? And the last vehicle just left. It looks like, oh, since we've been gone, she's eaten the whole skull. It looks like she's just finished the brains. And there's that, the legs are dangling very precariously, and the hyena is looking at them with hunger in its eyes. For those who are wondering what that click is, it's just my camera. I think that hyena might get lucky. So move slightly. Now you can see how precarious those two back legs are. And you can see there, when we were here earlier, the whole face of the duck was there. Now it's just the top of the skull and the horns. Just from the movement she's doing there, we can't really see, and we wouldn't be able to see from the other side either. She's plucking hair off the duiker, and you can see a bit of it floating away. Quite a lot of it floating away, but in the wind. But she's plucking hair to get to a spot where she can eat again. There we go. Now you can see her plucking. Oh, sorry. There we go. You can see her plucking the hair quite nicely now. She's moved the carcass of it. Oh, there goes her head again. And she's plucking the hair around where she wants to eat. She'll inadvertently swallow quite a lot of hair anyway, but this way it just stops some of it. Poor hyena, watching those, just out of reach. Oh, looks like she might drop it. That's getting very precarious. Oh no, there we go. No luck for you, Mr. Hyena, or Mrs. Hyena, just yet. So she's repositioning the kill into a safer spot. She's less likely to drop it. Actually hear that, and she's using her incisors on the side to cut through the skin. There's very little meat left on that little duiker. Alright guys, it's been a wonderful morning, and I'm quite sure you'd much rather look at Karula for the last little while than at me. So it's been a great morning. We will definitely follow up on what's happening with Karula later in the afternoon, but she might come down the tree and go for a drink. I don't think there's going to be anything left of this carcass later. But it's been great having you on LiveSafari with us at Djuma Private Game Reserve. Wonderful views of Karula this morning and some good birds. So I hope you all join us this afternoon for another live game drive. And for myself, Brent, and on camera VM, and Andrew and FC, thanks very much for joining us, and wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning or evening. And we will see you later on the next drive. Goodbye.